Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Real Talk. I'm your host, Derek Matthews, and I'm really excited today to bring the community into a great conversation. Today, we will talk about a new park in Annapolis with some great events coming up soon for Anne Arundel United. Plus, we will have a conversation with a very impressive young man who co-founded an organization called Black Wall Street of Annapolis. Stay tuned for that. What is Anne Arundel United? Well, I'm glad you asked. We really want to bring the community together to talk about some controversial issues such as race, bullying, stereotypes, and all sorts of good things going on that the county has to offer. That's Anne Arundel United. We're a grassroots effort to bring people together, no matter where they come from or what they believe in. Let's get right into the news, which I will call today, What's Happening. There are some great changes coming to Whitmore Park in Annapolis. In commemoration of the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a who's who came together to announce that Whitmore Park would be transformed over the next few months to include public art and a brand new look. Here's what County Executive Steve Shue had to say about the project and the Dr. King commemoration.
Today's event is a reflection of Dr. King's dream. People of different races, ethnicities, and backgrounds coming together to remember his sacrifice and to recommit to his grand vision. I believe Dr. King is looking approvingly on all of us at this very moment from the special place that God created for him in heaven.
We're really proud of the project and want to thank Steve for all of what he's doing to bring the community together. My official title is the Community and Minority Outreach Officer here in Anne Arundel County for the County Executive's Office. Mr. Shue has done so much to bring our community together, and he's given me the power to assist in making that happen. So let's move on to our next story. We have a new initiative in the city of Annapolis to stop youth gun violence. It's called the Annapolis Collaborative for Change, and it's funded by a $750,000 grant from the federal government. The first year is focused purely on planning. We're just getting this started, and the group includes representatives from the Mayor's Office of Annapolis, the Annapolis City Police Department, the Partnership for Youth and Families, the Anne Arundel County Public School System, the Annapolis Housing Authority, just to name a few. The African American Caucus of Leadership is also engaged as a strategic partner. Folks, there are some critics of this program, I know, because they hear that grants and immediately think, oh, here we go again. Let me tell you that we are engaged and committed to getting this done properly. Our youth deserve it. I'm taking a full, what I'm going to call militant approach to get this done. Believe that. Moving right along. We had another great event this week, and I want to tell you all about it. We had a huge turnout at the I-5 Church in Glen Burnie for an awesome presentation called Race Matters. This was another joint effort with the Anne Arundel United and the Partnership for Youth and Children and their families. By that, I mean Partnership's director, Pam Brown, actually paid for the event. Thanks, Pam. We appreciate it. We will have the entire program online for you at Arundel TV, so stay tuned for that. That's it for the news. When we return after the break, we will talk with my friend Deonte Ward from the Black Wall Street of Annapolis. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
And welcome back. I'm here with Deonte from Black Wall Street of Annapolis. Deonte, it is so nice to have you on the show. Welcome, man. I appreciate everything you're doing in the community.
I appreciate you.
Okay, so let's jump right into some real talk, man. What I want to know first is, who is Deonte? Tell me and the audience and the folks listening and watching, who is Deonte and what is Black Wall Street of Annapolis?
I'm a 28-year-old, 29 actually, just had a recent birthday.
Okay.
I reside in Woodside Gardens, which is in connection with Newtown 20.
Okay.
and I'm, your typical average guy.
Okay.
I grew up playing football for Annapolis Senior High.
Okay. What position you play?
I played quarterback.
Quarterback. What
and
year was
defensive
that?
Back, from 2005 to 2007.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I have a little girl, Lola Mae Ward. She's beautiful.
What's her name? Give her a shout out, man. Shout out to your babies all the time.
Shout out to Lola Mae.
Okay.
My
Okay.
baby girl. But she's my inspiration. Before I had her, I was, didn't really know what I wanted to do with life. I was, still young and trying to figure out what was the right thing, the wrong thing.
Okay.
And when I had her, I just found my path. So.
Awesome, man. So we'll kind of get back to that a little bit because she might be one of the questions I want to ask you about what drives you. But first thing I want to ask you is tell me at least 2 negative things that young people are facing in the community right now. What are like the hot 2 top buttons right now as far as young people right now in the city of Annapolis and maybe even Anne Arundel County?
I believe 2 things that affects my community at least the most.
That's what you can speak to best is your community.
The lack of education.
Okay.
And then a lack of leadership.
Okay. So what are some things that adults, folks in leadership positions can do to better help try to fill that void with young people? What are some things that we can do? Tell me, as a person who's concerned and in leadership role, what can we do better?
First, I think you can be more hands-on. A lot of the times, I think at elders, the people that we look up to, once they come from the circumstances that my group or my age group are in, they fade away from the communities. And a lot of the times, for me, I didn't really have a leader in my life until I became an adult. So, growing up as a teenager, you're trying to find yourself in the world. It's kind of hard when you don't have no real leadership or role model. So.
Okay. So I like where we're going with this. So as a young person, if I was to ask a young person, I know you all go through these phases, and we all did at some point, trying to find our way, trying to figure out what to do. What are some things that you're doing in the community that would make a young person gravitate to something positive so they stay on that positive road? Tell me a little bit about what Black Wall Street of Annapolis is doing.
So we're doing actually quite a few things. Right now we're working on our women's empowerment event, which is going to be September 15th. That's my daughter's birthday.
That's okay. Keep your baby on your heart, man. Keep your baby
But it'll be March 31st from 2 to 6 at the Pip Moyer.
Okay.
And purpose behind the women's empowerment event is just to enlighten the city of, how strong the women are, because I was raised by my mom predominantly. So I didn't have a father or a male figure that was my leadership. And so, I want the women to be able to show their strength and show the city that, they are the actual queens of Annapolis.
Yeah, boy, you preaching something right there.
Just a little bit.
We call ourselves as men the head of the households, but we all also understand that women are the neck, and the head can't move without the neck, right?
Absolutely.
So let me give you something that I really want. I want this to come from the heart. So what is that thing that drives you? What is that thing that keeps you up at night? It might be baby girl, I'm thinking, but what is that thing? Sometimes they say our dreams keep us awake at night. So when you're pacing at night, coming up with these ideas of things to do with youth in the community and how to better it, what is that thing that you're burning? What keeps you up at night?
I guess I have to say it was just not having a father.
Okay.
And because of that, I used to always, be on a straight line, but sometimes I would zigzag, and it was, trying to find the right job. I could never find a job that I felt like was paying me enough, and it's like, what could I turn to? I didn't want to be a part of the streets, and finding that for me to get what I wanted out of life, I had to create something.
Create that opportunity.
And so that's where the organization Black Wall Street Annapolis came.
So, Brother D, I want to go back just a little bit. We talked about Black Wall Street, but as I kind of have worked with you guys recently, I understand that it's a large organization, actually I believe national, and you are just a microcosm of a larger picture. Explain how that actually works.
So we're a part of Black Wall Street, Maryland, which is part of the National Black Wall Street. So Black Wall Street of Annapolis was an organization created through Black Wall Street, Maryland to support local black businesses, bring awareness to them. We also do community development. We associate ourselves with Newtown and Woodside. We actually have projects that's coming up, and we'll be doing a mural project.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about that specifically.
So we're working with Future History now, and we're gonna be, giving
art lessons or something. If I'm tracking it,
it's art lessons, but we want to highlight the people in that community that had the most impact. So we'll be working on up to 30 murals. And so April 4th, we'll be working at the Newtown Rec Center, and we'll have the children rewrite their Martin Luther King dream. I have a dream speech, so I think that's going to be pretty exciting. We're doing a community garden project also, which we're trying to get the youth involved in. So, kind of takes them back to like our ancestor roots where.
Give me a little bit more. Community garden, what does that mean? Are we planting things?
So yeah, we'll be doing, we have a plaque which is sponsored by Annapolis, and we'll be planting fruits, vegetables, and actually flowers and things like that.
Wow, okay. And where will that be? Where will that actually take place? Where will the venue for that be? Where will that stuff be planted?
It'll be at a location on Route 50.
Oh, okay. And the harvest will go to some cause, or
so we'll use the harvest to feed some of the homeless as part of one of our It's Bigger Than Me homeless centers, and then we'll use the other to generate some kind of funding for our future projects.
Okay. So overall, if I was to capsulize this, Black Wall Street, from a state perspective and as it works its way down to local, is just really about positivity, giving back, and getting young people involved in the community. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I love the idea. I love the concept. And you're the co-founder. So there's another one of you. You have another partner basically that works with you alongside that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, I think it's awesome, and I think we need to hear and see more about what you guys are doing. So Deonte, I know you guys got a lot of stuff going on, and I'm gonna put it up on the calendar as we kind of move forward, because you guys are involved in a lot of stuff. So I'm gonna make sure I direct folks to aacounty.org/united and make sure that we got everything up on the calendar. But I asked you earlier a little bit about what could we as leaders do, and I'm pointing at myself first, right? Because I want to do more. But as I sit in a government position in the structure of government, both state, local, and the county-wide, so we have Anne Arundel County and the city of Annapolis, what can we do as a government to involve ourselves more in what young people are doing in the community? I know sometimes as older, wiser people, we think we have all the answers, and we tend to tell you all what we want you to do. But tell me right now, as we're having real talk, as I'm sitting at my desk, what can we do better? What can we do more of?
I think what we lack in the community right now is just funding for a lot of the programs that they have going on. I recently spoke at the City Hall, and I was, speaking about the budget that they had last year with the previous mayor, and it was like 3 point, or mistake me, or maybe a little mistaken by the numbers, but I know it was a couple $1 million at least, which was given to the Anne Arundel County Police Department. And I spoke on like how we could take some of that money and put it into the community and create better outreach programs or create better summer camp programs, because right now they barely have any funding just to take a trip to Six Flags or anything. So 10% of 32.
Sure.
Or
So I understand your perspective, and as a former law enforcement officer wearing that uniform for a number of years, the public safety budget is always questionable. It's never enough. So maybe what I'm hearing you say, I'm going to try to translate, is that maybe as we make policies and go into budget cycles, maybe we need to listen to the young people more and kind of hear what it is you all need. So maybe we can put some more attention into things specific to youth, as opposed to being quickly trying to figure out where we take something from. Does that
It
Does
makes
that
a lot
seem-
of sense.
oh,
I
it
mean,
makes-
even for me, when I'm involving myself in the community,
Yeah.
I assume that, I know what they need. And then, as we implement these programs into the community, a lot of them say, like, this isn't something that they actually interested in. So, we got to reach out to those that we trying to impact the most and see what they think or what they believe is something that's possible for them to, change the course of their lives.
Okay. And another question related to the same subject, I guess, is do you see an age, do you have a target that you all are looking for as you're moving about the community with what you're trying to do? Is there a 8th grade to high school? Is there how young should we start getting young people involved in things? Like this art project, how young can you be?
So we starting with elementary school and working up to college.
Okay.
A reason behind all this is sometimes when we look at the teenagers, we already assume that, it's too late for them.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, a lot of outreach programs start to focus on the youth as far as the elementary and middle school because they, they're easier to work with.
Okay.
They're easier to, give them a mindset to put them on the right track. So predominantly we focus on the teenage group, but we're working into creating a program that starts from the elementary all the way to leading them into college.
Okay. I'm going to ask you this. Right now in present times, do you see male role models that young people your age could gravitate to? Do role models actually exist outside of the sports world, outside of what they see on TV? In Annapolis right now, do we actually have, in your opinion, role models that children, young people could actually gravitate to?
I'm one of them.
Okay.
That's
what I wanted you to say.
A group of friends of mine that we all, we communicate and we discuss things for the youth to be able to look up to or, follow the footsteps and the path that we create for them. So it's definitely a nice handful of us. Do I think it should be more? Definitely.
Sure.
And do I think the older folks in the city that has the opportunity or the power to fill those leadership roles, I definitely think they should step up and become more part of the community as well.
So I should make a call right now. I should actually reach out and say, if folks want to become mentors, they need to kind of join kind of what we're doing here with Annapolis United and Black Wall Street and some of the other things, have them reach out to me and say, hey, this young man is saying we're needed. Is that a fair statement?
I think it's more than fair.
Okay. All right, my last question for you is for the youth that are actually out there right now, what would you say to them right now? This is you talking to them. Before we go to commercial break, I want you to look at them and tell them what they should do to get involved in something. What would be your message to them right now based off of you and I having real talk right now? I want you to have some real talk with your audience right now. Tell them what they should do.
First thing they should do is speak out. I think a lot of the young men, they want to fit into a crowd. And so because of that, they don't really speak who they are. They speak what they think everybody around them,
Come on, man. Give it to me.
see them as. And, that was something that I struggled with for a long time. I felt like the more that I was trying to fit into the crowd, I was standing out more. And a lot of people outside of me realized that I was standing out, and they will reach out to me like, hey, that's not who you are. Be the person that you desire to be, or to be the person that you were created to be. So, reach out. I have a Facebook, I have a cell phone number, I can give it to you. I have an email.
All right, well, we're going to be in touch for real. So I'm going to drive them through, and I'm going to get ready to keep you busy. Brother D, thank you so much, man, for being on Real Talk. I appreciate it. It's been great talking to you.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be right back.
I dare you. I dare you to change the world. Yeah, you. Getting that college education.
I dare you to be somebody important.
Like be a teacher or a reality TV star.
I dare you to stand up here.
To call the shots.
To be a role model.
An inspiration. An innovator.
To be a teacher.
Think you can change my life?
Make me excited about science like you.
Have a career that really means something?
Then do it.
I dare you.
Welcome back. We want to keep you in the loop in the community events and what's coming up so you don't want to miss anything. I call this segment, What's Next? Every month, our coffee club events. The next one will be at Mountain Road Library in Pasadena. This is your chance to meet other people who want to join Annapolis United and have a respectful and friendly discussion about race and other sensitive subjects. Please join us. You won't regret it. Next up is an event that I'm really excited about, folks. It's happening on Friday, April 27th. It's the Anne Arundel County Night Out with the Baltimore Shuckers basketball team, as they're going to be taking on the Fort Wayne Flight. This is a special game where county employees come out at a discounted rate. Yours truly will be doing the opening tip-off, so please come out for a chance to see me in action. But you don't have to be an employee to show your support for Anne Arundel United, and bring the kids out for a night of fun. There you go. Don't say I didn't tell you how to get involved in the community and make Anne Arundel County a better place, right? Let's take a walk and get down to some real talk. The lack of demographic diversity poses ethical and social dilemmas in our community. But the lack of cognitive diversity threatens both community and organization survival and growth. This is why our community coffee conversations are a great form of communication. When you attend, you will find we focus on creating urgency about sponsoring and implementing cognitive diversity. Not all communities rally around an event. Some rally around a cause. As part of Anne Arundel United, I've seen the power of a few dozen people reaching out through their personal networks, business connections, families, and friends to create awareness on communities fighting various issues. Maximizing the reach of an inspirational message or important piece of information requires the dedication of humans of all colors, religion, and preferences to stay open and sharing among consuming content that raises awareness. Anne Arundel United is bringing people together and doing exactly this. Our next heavy lift is working to mitigate youth gun violence. This project, compiled of many partners, families, schools, community working together, will provide children and youth and guidance that they need for opportunities to become a competent and compassionate, self-supporting adult. At the same time, we must hold our children and youth appropriately and fairly accountable for their actions using a range of developmental, appropriate graduate sanctions. Throughout all aspects of this work, we must emphasize justice, fairness, and accountability in all aspects of the work. The many stakeholders that are engaged in this work are bringing different perspectives, different experiences, and expertise to bear. Each has a unique role to play and a key contribution to make. Each has developed proficiencies, networks related to their particular roles, yet desired results come from a combination of specialized expertise and collective action forged in responses to mutual vision and common understanding of the goals. That means how to achieve them. So ask you, Mr. Matthews, what do you say when people who still aren't quite sure how they can make a difference in the community? Well, my answer is simple, folks. I try to politely tell them when I hear this question, find a problem that you really care about. Everybody has one. Then I tell them, go find a way to work within people that have experienced that are affecting the community and affect that change. I tell them to spend 40 to 50 hours at their pace working on that issue specifically. And after that time, have them go back and look and take stock at what changes took place based on what they did. If their efforts were sincere and earnest, they will see the success. So as we close this first episode of Real Talk, I would like the viewers to know that there is more that unites us than divides us. Peace is the natural state of every human being on this earth. Absence of peace is an artificial sensation engineered by a small few for narrow and unsustainable objectives. If only we were to respect everybody rather than suspect everybody, if only we could focus on destroying the hostility stored within us rather than picking up fights with perceived external enemies, we would be at peace and at peace with the world around us. Let us offer our sincere, heartfelt prayers that each of us, everywhere on this precious planet, resolves to work for peace within and peace with others. We are called human beings, not human havings. So let us be more rather than have more. May love and peace prevail. Here's a quote from the Dalai Lama. When we have inner peace, we can be at peace with those around us. When our community is in a state of peace, it can share that peace with neighboring communities. Viewers, what changes would you like to bring about in your community? Join us and let us hear from you. Anne Arundel County Ambassador Coffees are the perfect way to come meet us and both hear and share your ideas. Thanks for watching today.